Josh Allen now down at 15-1. Was as short as plus 380 earlier this month. And then Jared Goff, who we had all the MVP narrative about coming into this week, like, okay, if they knock off the Lions here, this number is just going to get shorter and shorter. Well, they end up getting owned by Baltimore in this spot, and Lamar Jackson's odds have shrunk at plus 650. As you kind of look at this MVP odds board now, Michael, is there a bet to be made in your mind? I know we don't want to buy in too much on what immediately happened this past weekend, but what names stand out to you perhaps?
Well, I think you got to look at Lamar, right? I mean, Lamar's MVP odds, you've got to take a serious, strong look at, because he was sensational, right? He was so good the other day that I think you got to take a look. I think he's down, 650-1?
Yeah,
he was 7-1. I think he went shot down there.
Yeah, he was 18-1, and now we're seeing 7-1 and plus 650.
Yeah, so, I think you got to take a look at that really hard. I think, to me, the offensive player of the year is going to come down to McCaffrey. I mean, A.J. Brown makes a statement for what he did. I mean, he was outstanding. And I think America saw what a great receiver he is. But, and then Tyreek Hill. I mean, McCaffrey and Tyreek Hill, it's a two. I haven't seen Chase. I worry about their offensive line. This week, Orlando Brown's he's not 100%. They're going against the 49ers. Can Chase really get it going there? Offensive Rookie of the Year, I mean, Puka, you got to think Puka's the leader, right? At plus 300. Well, Stroud at plus 210, minus 210 is. But to me, if Stroud wasn't there, I think Puka would win it in a walkaway.
Well,
or a Chan, because they miss him. I mean, they really miss his speed on that field.
Yeah, if when he comes back from injured reserve can continue putting up the types of numbers that he did before the injury, I think that would certainly be a worthwhile approach there at 25-1 for Offensive Rookie of the Year. But are you surprised to see C.J. Stroud at an odds-on number over $2 the way that he is now? Because we are still relatively early in the season. Obviously, injuries can happen. I mean, and he's been so great in terms of ball security to this point, but if the interceptions start stacking up, there's lots of opportunity, I think, still even on this board. I know we want to give it to a quarterback. We want to go that rookie quarterback that was the best of the year, but the numbers that Puka have been putting up, Michael, absolute, first of all, steal of the draft in the 5th round coming out of BYU, but his 752 receiving yards put him on pace if he were to continue at this level for over 1,800, which would be a record for a first-year receiver that has stood since 1960.
And he's still going to get every target because people are going to take Kupp out of the game with Kupp back, and they're going to force the ball somewhere else. And as long as Stafford stays healthy, he'll continue to produce numbers. I mean, look, Stroud has been fantastic in the games he's played. He's been think about where he's come from. The opening play of his NFL career, he's in shotgun, he's under center, and he doesn't even make a throw. It's so bad. And now he's playing under center when he never did that in college.
Yeah.
He's just been really good. He played behind. I mean, he goes into Jacksonville with backup offensive linemen all over the place, and he's able to go down there and win the game handily. So I don't think he's, injury, and I don't want to jinx the poor kid. Injury is the only thing that, to me, keeps him away from winning the Rookie of the Year.
I think he's a very rightful favorite. I just question the minus 210 at going into week 8 of the season. That's my only thought, is I don't think that the price is necessarily warranted for where we are at right now. But yeah, he's been great. And now, very unique role that he's in this coming weekend, taking on the Carolina Panthers. And we're going to have that head-to-head of the number 1 overall pick, Bryce Young, taking on the next picked quarterback in C.J. Stroud, and he's a favorite in the game. So a 3-point road favorite in Carolina, Stroud is, after a run of the Texans, Michael, being underdogs in 21 straight road games to this point. It was the active streak in the National Football League. The last time they were a road favorite was Week 14 in 2020 against Chicago.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.